Hi guys, it's Ray here from City Fan TV. It's getting dark. I'm in France, guys, so I'm 1 hour ahead of you guys. It's 9:15. Busy day. We're here to give you another Manchester City news update, and obviously not got the screens behind me with the normal logos and stuff. But a very busy day. Even played footy with my lads today, which is pretty hard work after such lack of exercise for so many months. Hardly anything for about 5 months now, I think, 4 or 5 months. So that was pretty tough. But yeah, long day yesterday, as you know. I'm just going to give you a bit of background. I drove down to France yesterday, so I did that live stream last night for about an hour and a half or something silly, and paying for it a bit today. Late nights, early start, and busy all day. Hi, Abdullah, I'm all right, mate. Hope you're well too. I'm just tired. Had about 4 hours sleep, and yeah, we're emptying our flat. What's left of it, I think. People are coming around on, I think, Thursday evening or Friday, and then we are out of this joint early next week, and the keys over, and we're just scrambling around trying to get somewhere else to rent. So we're selling our apartments. We're trying to get somewhere else to rent for up till probably at least the end of the year. Excuse me, guys. Got a bit of a cough. It's nothing else except a bit of a tickly throat. So this obviously just watching fellas going out for a run. I think the footy players going out for a run. Very good. My days of football are well behind me, but you never know. I might, if I can get myself some fitness together, I might give it a go again. But I love our board. Absolutely. Bonsoir, Aaron. How you doing? Well, mon ami. There's no I. There's no e at the end, mate. Normally you stick an e at the end for women. So for a fella, it's AMI. For a woman, I think it's you. You've you've changed me. You've changed me, buddy. It's not on. Hey, Mark, hope you well. Mark, we're not living here long term yet. We lived here for about 7, 8, 9 years. When the kids, within a couple of years of my kids being born, we moved out here. So my basically I wanted my lads to learn French. My wife's French, their mother. And so yeah, I just thought, spend it 4 or 5, 6 years here, and then come back to England once their French is under their belt. And the French is under their belt. We stayed a few years extra for work reasons as well. And then we came back to England for a couple of years, and now because of my wife's work, because of the COVID situation as well, the fact that you're in quarantine if you go back to the UK. So if my wife's working in France, can't come back to the UK for a weekend and then go back, which is what we're used to doing. We're used to doing when she was working in London. She'd come up for a 3 or 4 day weekend, long weekend. When she was working in Dubai, before kids were born, I would fly out every 2 weeks on a Thursday evening, have a Friday, Saturday, Sunday in Dubai, and fly back on Monday morning. It worked really well. Hi, Beyond 100 Gaming and Arashvia Dadwal. Yeah, we're going to talk about Khaldoon's interview a little bit. I watched the whole thing. I'm not sure how much I took in. I was a bit tired. Hey, Mark, my daughter is also bilingual as we live in Montreal. It's fabulous. I said it's a great opportunity for my kids. My plan was, when they were about 5, 6, 7 years old, to move to another country. I just thought either I basically picked the biggest languages in the world. So I thought maybe they do Spanish, maybe they do Mandarin, maybe they do Arabic. Those were the 3 options. They're learning Spanish now, but that's all it's been for the last month. But we'll see what happens after that, because I just thought, if you can learn 3 or 4 languages for free, in effect, as in that's your surroundings, and you learn those because you're surrounded by people. We're not going to go there and just speak English. You speak the language. So if we ever went, if we were in, for instance, working in the Middle East, the kids would learn Arabic. If we were in a Spanish-speaking country, they'd learn Spanish. and we could have gone to South America, but I just think that's a little bit too far for me. And if we go like Far East, they can learn, Mandarin. So, hi Riyadh Madani. So I will say Weshrak got to you, Riyadh. What do I think of Mahrez in the new season? Mahrez has got to up his game. He had a below average first season at City. Second season, okay, he's getting better. Third season, he has to keep improving. The only way City can keep on improving is if the players keep on improving or we get better players. So Mahrez has got to keep on improving. Time kills deals, usually says Mark. No news. I've not heard anything. I mean, it's all, it's drips. We're drip fed. Let's tell you what we're going to talk about today. Before I forget. Okay, it's all in the description. So obviously we're going to talk a little bit about the chairman's interview. Sergi Roberto offer. You can tell by me screwing up my face, pulling a face, and I'm not so sure about that. ZInchenko statement. Liam Delap, you might have seen his goal for the kids. FFP changes. Bazunu out on loan. Sam Mewis. Okay. What Sam Mewis been saying as well. So I'll just try and keep up with you guys. Okay. I'm going to absolutely zip through everything and then come back to the chairman's statement. Okay. Now, let's do the chairman's stuff first. No, I'll tell a lie. Let's do the other stuff first because we might talk a bit more about the chairman's statement. Now, it's been reported, and it's always, some newspapers say one thing, others say something else. Now, it's been reported by Mundo Deportivo that Sergi Roberto has an offer from City. Now, it's reported that the new Barcelona manager, Ronald Koeman, only sees him as a midfielder, and the club will listen to any approaches. It's also been claimed that Barcelona have heard nothing from City, but the club have made their own offer to the player, as well as another unnamed club are in for him. If you haven't seen this, guys, go on YouTube and watch this, or wherever you can find it on the Man City Twitter site or YouTube. It'll be somewhere out there. Liam Delap. Now, he scored a hat-trick against Everton under-18s as the academy teams prepare for the start of the new season. Now, you watch. He got a goal. He got a goal. He got the one I saw. He got passed the ball at, by someone out on the right. He was on the right edge of the just on the right edge of the box, and he cut on the outside of the Everton defender. It's a nice bit of footwork to give himself the space for a shot, but he was still about 15 yards out or something at a very poor angle, and he absolutely slammed the ball in at the near post. It was incredible. If you haven't seen it, go and have a look. And people have been raving him about him. The MEN describe him as a powerful, speedy forward. Has made an excellent impression since joining the Blues last year. He's already playing in the under-19s and under-23s before the end of last season. So it's not bad for a kid who's under 8. Is he 17 years old? 17 or 18. And he's also trained with the first team in the build-up to the Champions League mini tournament in Lisbon. Well, you can understand that because it's like the first team playing, let's call it a second team, a reserve team. But the first team, you're playing matches between yourselves. So some of the kids were called up for that. So that's absolutely fantastic. If this kid can, we all want kids to make the breakthrough. Pot 1 for the Champions League has been decided. You got Bayern Munich, Sevilla, Paris Saint-Germain, Real Madrid, Juventus, Porto, and Zenit St. Petersburg. Liverpool are also there, but they can't be drawn against City. So City will play one of them. Who do you want? You want Porto? If you're offering me a club out of them, I'd go for Porto, Zenit, or Sevilla. I really don't want Bayern Munich. I don't mind anybody else, but you want something that you think, yes, we've got a good chance of at least getting one win against these fellas. If you're playing against Bayern, you might get one win, you might lose 2. Apparently, I'm just looking at some other things. Sterling was in the Champions League team of the season, 6 goals, 5 assists in 9 games. So he made that. FFP changes. UEFA President Alexander Seferin says some kind of luxury tag for big spending clubs could be introduced as the future of financial fair play regulations are looked at by the governing body. He told Reuters, FFP is not enough anymore. We have to do something to take care of that. If you spend too much, by our regulations, you have to give something back to the others. Why is competitive balance so important? Because otherwise competition is not interesting anymore. It becomes boring and we don't want that to happen. But UEFA, okay, and this is the ironic, hypocritical thing, UEFA have presided over teams in Germany. Bayern Munich have won the Bundesliga an unprecedented, was it eight times or 9 times on the bounce? PSG have won it in France 7, 8, 9 times, whatever it is. Juventus have won it 8 or 9 times. Barcelona and Real Madrid are sharing it between the two of them most of the time in Spain. A lot of leagues are one-sided leagues because of partly because of the Champions League, and partly because once you're in that club, once you can get into the top table for a couple of seasons, you're getting so much more money than everybody else in your league, and that really makes a huge difference. You know, at the end of the day, generally the teams that spend the most win the most. Bernardo Silva and Joao Cancelo have been named in the Portugal squad for their Nations League fixtures against Croatia and Sweden at the start of September. If you remember, we had Ferran Torres and Eric Garcia in the French squad. In the Spanish squad. Get that right. And there's lots of chatter that Phil Foden will be in the England squad, and that's announced in a day or two. Let's go through these other things. It's been reported that City goalkeeper Gavin Bazunu will join League One neighbours Rochdale on loan this season. He's 18 years old. He joined from Shamrock Rovers last year. I've done a video on him before. I've mentioned him a few times. He'd already broken into the first team at Shamrock Rovers. He was recently involved in the travelling squads for some of City's post-lockdown fixtures when Claudio Bravo was injured. He was also named in the Champions League squad for the mini-tournament in Lisbon. Now, the Irish Independent claims he will join third-tier side Rochdale on loan for the season to get some valuable league experience. The report adds Bazunu will sign a new long-term contract before heading out on loan to Scotland. That's where Rochdale play at Scotland. Let's see what else we've got. Garcia's on Barcelona's 3-man shortlist. He's looking at Jose Gaya, who's a left back. I think is it Villarreal or Valencia, and Lautaro Martinez. That's going to cost him a pretty penny. Zinchenko's issued a statement because obviously he made some comments. I think they've been taken out of context, and his new wife made some comments, and they've not been taken out of context because I think she meant them. But he's had to come out and say some stuff. It's a long statement. I'm not going to go through it all. And he's just been married, so he's had to take time off to come out and say this, make this statement. So, I'll read a little bit. So he talks about the tactics. So he said, there are many footballers with great experience. Okay, they are well aware that with such tactics, there will always be a lack of one player in front. In the first half, Lyon played very organised at the back. They were almost all behind the ball line. And we have 3 central defenders in static positions with the ball. They start all attacks. And 2 central midfielders go down to them to take the ball because there are no off the game. His fiancée, well, I think she's married now. I'm sure she's married. Emien calling her his fiancée, Vlada Sedan. She was quoted as saying, "This is Guardiola's puncture." Basically, his fault. He made the hole. At such a crucial moment, making such an experimental tactic for City is a bummer. I have no right to criticise, but why play 3 central defenders when the players themselves take their heads? The point is with her, she is a journalist. She's a reporter. So she can make these comments, but apparently, I think he says she was commenting as a fan. She was unhappy, or not. She was disappointed and spoke with emotions. So he's had to come out and say, first of all, I didn't say anything bad or judgmental about our tactics, so don't confuse my words, please. I was explaining that we as players understand the effect tactics have, and how given we have such great experience, we can adapt to the tactics we are given. On the night we lost to Lyon, but that doesn't mean the manager was wrong to try. If you have seen my interviews in the past and the way how I talk about our manager, then he's number one. So if he's calling her his wife, I don't know why the MEN are calling her his fiance. Anyway, that's their problem. Although she's a journalist, she's also a fan. During the all season, she was traveling with us for all away and home games because she's a massive City fan. In the video, you can see her emotions straight after the game, and she gave an opinion like all fans do because she wanted us to do better. We totally understand now that she shouldn't post it in the social media because she's my wife, but she was not trying to make a journalist opinion on the manager of the team. She was simply reacting to her disappointment as a fan. I'm writing right now for my wedding. He's put wedding. I think he meant wedding. And instead of enjoying that unbelievable moment, I have to do this because I can't skip it and leave it like that. I hope you understand. His prize money for the Champions League has has been it's confirmed in inverted commas, but it's Swiss Ramble, a very respectable outlet. It's a fella, actually. It's one fella, I think. He believes City are going to get somewhere in the region of 99 million euros. It's a combination of prize money, combination. What he reckons is 99 million euros up at 89 million quid. He said that's 50 million just to participate, 33 million for the performance in the competition, getting to the quarterfinals and winning all the games in the league stage, and around 50 million from the TV fund, coupled with City's UEFA coefficient. So it's a nice bit of money, and you can see how much of an impact that has. If we were not in the Champions League for 2 seasons, we'll be best bet 200 million quid down, because that's not including, that's the money we get from the Champions League. That's not including any money we get from gate receipts. Yeah, if you think and sponsorship and advertising, if you think a normal game like Real Madrid, we would have sold, 50. Let's use 50,000 because it's easy. 50,000 tickets at 40 quid each. That's 2 million quid. So all that adds up. Just reading that. Peppers all on the whole game in the 4 seasons being at City. That's probably put the kibosh on it. Sam Mewis is delighted to be on the pitch and out of quarantine. She said it was great to be out there with the girls. This is after the 4-1 win over Everton. I feel as though I'm learning a lot, but there's still a lot more to come. I really enjoy playing a live game, though, especially after being on my own for a while in quarantine. The girls have been so welcoming, though, and have been telling me what to do and how the team plays, while the staff have been great as well. I still feel as though I'm learning, though, and there's still a lot I can work on. I felt the rest of the game was a bit up and down as I'm just settling in, but it was just great to be out there and have some success with the team. So yeah, she said more stuff. If you want, you can go and check that out on the MEN or probably on the City website. There's lots of stuff out there at the moment for you to go and check stuff. And that's about it from the general stuff. I'll see what you guys are saying, and then I'll come back and talk about Khaldoon. Hi Adam, hope you're well. Brought in here exclusively in the Champions League, so no people can pipe down. Look, he said, we'll go through it, but basically, very briefly, he said, yeah, it's not good enough. Finishing second, we want to finish first. Okay, congratulate the winners, but we want to finish first. But the big thing is we were so far behind. I think that hurt, to be so far behind and not being in a challenge and to be knocked out the FA Cup. He basically said, that's not good enough. And I like it. Okay, give us a thumbs up. There's 14 of you on, so I'd like to see about 14 thumbs up. Aaron says, I'm not a fan of Sergi Roberto. I'm not so sure he's the right man for us, to be honest, Sergi Roberto. Let's go through what our manager, what the chairman said. Just checking my phone, see how much battery I got, because I've got to use my hotspot for this. Okay, so obviously every end of season we have Khaldoon Al-Mubarak, our chairman. And he's hinted that there'll be at least 2 more players this summer. Okay, but he's also said the financial effects of the pandemic have forced a rethink on the strategy. But he also said, they will, if an opportunity arises, they will go for it. So, he didn't say it. I was hoping Chris Billy would mention it. But if Messi became available, we'd go for it. Or if somebody else became available that you weren't expecting or at a good price, maybe City will go for it. We're in a better position, I think, than a lot of other clubs. So, MEN saying left back remains a problem area. Other issues are a right-sided centre-back and a striker. Anyway, that's what he said. He said you have to take into consideration the pandemic, and that's part of the sensibility approach that we have to take. But at the same time, my position is clear. We don't take a 1-year view. We take a 10-year view. And when we look at what changes or improvements we have to make for this squad, we're going to make them. We're going to make them, and we'll be sensible and pragmatic about it, but we will do what it takes. I think you've seen when it comes to the 2 acquisitions we have made, Aki and Ferran Torres, we moved quickly. We knew the players clearly. They were our targets, and when the opportunity came, we were able to come in very quickly and swiftly and do that business. There are additional players we will be bringing in, and we will stick to the plan, obviously, within the realities of the market that we live in today. So look, Aki's 25, Torres is 20. They're the normal age profile of the players that City would get. But Khaldoon said that rules that said that rule is not hard and fast, and that all the players who meet the criteria and they want are also considered. Now that includes Koulibaly, who's 29. If we wanted David Alaba, he's 28. If we'd gone for Thiago Alcantara, I think he's 28 or 29. So we will go for older players, but they have to fulfill certain criteria as well. Calhoun said, if you look at the acquisitions we have made over the past couple of years, there's a consistency in the type of player we have targeted in terms of age and quality. So we will continue down that road. The age bracket we are always looking at as a priority for the first team in that 20 to 25-year-old category. That's kind of the spot we like. But at the same time, the reason I don't like to box myself in with this answer is because sometimes opportunities come up that fit with what the manager wants and with what we need for the squad that might be out of that box. And if that's the case, we're pragmatic enough to make that move. So nothing is set in stone. We clearly have a way of doing business in terms of targets that are well defined, but at the same time, we're pragmatic enough to take the opportunity if that opportunity comes up. I feel he's talking about Kalidou Koulibaly, and possibly if somebody else comes up, that's worth us poking our nose in and having a look at. I think we'll go for that as well. So, as I said, if Messi comes up or Lautaro Martinez or someone comes up, if suddenly Bayern Munich said we're going to sell Lewandowski, I think City would be knocking on that Bayern Munich door very, very, very hard indeed. Now, other things that Khaldun Al-Mubarak discussed, he talked about CAS. He talked about what happened there. So, he basically said there are no grudges. We just got to move on with life. You can't hold a grudge. Whereas he might still hold a grudge, but outwardly you've got to try and move on. He's pragmatic. It's business. They want to make money. They want to win this competition. Sorry guys, my eyes are itching like crazy. They want to win this competition, so you got to move on. Now let's see what he's been saying here as well. Let's just get some quotes. It's okay. This is what he said. It is an important competition. It is one of the most prestigious competitions in the world of sports. It is a competition we want to win, and it is a competition we have to respect in order to win. And this was a challenge. It's behind us. End of story. As far as I'm focused on one thing: how I can help this club compete in this competition and win it, and how to have a constructive relationship with UEFA. I think that's the only way to go. So all the way through that interview, he was saying, things aren't good enough. Carabao Cup, is it enough? Finishing 80 points behind isn't enough. Getting knocked out in the semi-final of the FA Cup isn't. He said it's not good enough. And what happened in the Champions League isn't good enough either. So, he said a lot of really interesting things. And I encourage you to go and have a look at what he said. Watch the video, or at least read some of the stuff. He talks about Kevin De Bruyne winning the award. He said KDB won the Premier League Player of the Season award. Khaldun said he deserved it. He was worried that he wouldn't get it, but he deserved it. And obviously, we're very pleased that he's got it. He talks about Phil Foden. He was asked about Phil Foden coming through, and he's still eulogising about Phil Foden. He was talking about the time when he spoke to Brian Marwood when Phil was about 8-9 years old. That sort of age, and Marwood said he was going to be special. So Khaldun said, I remember that, and I always kept an eye on Phil Foden, and he's coming through, and he's starting to do the business, isn't he? He looks like he could really be that special player coming through the ranks that we've really wanted, really wanted for so many years. Wow, there's not many people on tonight. This says 17, but no one's talking. Abdallah Al-Mami. Khaldun said they will make multiple signs after the two that have arrived already. When he said multiple, Abdallah, that will include kids. If he's going to include kids, we make loads of kids. Just already we're looking at. We've got that Mickey Van Sass from who came from Holland. He was at. I forgot the name now. He was expected to go to Ajax, but he's coming to us. He's 16 years old, keeper. We've got Jan Couto, 18 years old now. I think he's Brazilian right back. We're looking at Rocky, not Rocky Marciano. It's not the film Rocky Bilbao. A fella called Rocky, who's another Brazilian. We're looking at a third Brazilian, Diego Rosa. And we're looking at, we've already got Isak Busef. That's a City football group. So there's going to be a shed load of kids being bought in as well. And it's trying to work out these part of his things, his numbers. I'm still of the belief that we're going to get an attacker. Still believe we're going to get Koulibaly. I'm still of the belief that we'd be interested in a left back if a good one became available. And another midfielder. Look, if Benassa became available, or someone else was putting a bid in for him, or Husam Aouar, or Upamecano, I think City would knock on the door as well. Been grafting, Chris. Good on you, mate. Dark nights. Well, it's a bit late, We've been out to IKEA, man. IKEA. Because we flogged most of our furniture. And now we're here for a week. And then hopefully we're going to get a flat. And then we need some furniture for that. So we flogged all our old stuff off. We've just been out to IKEA buying some chairs and some new stuff. And then just went out for dinner. And then thought I'll do this stream before it gets too late because it's already dark out here. And I don't think like my videos from inside the flat. They don't like them at all. And I don't think they can like this one either. But I think what's going to end up happening, guys, because I haven't got a proper place to do videos indoors at the moment because it's pretty empty. I will do some earlier videos. I won't be going, like now, I'm almost 9:45 in France. I will do some early evening videos. I'll try to. I'm not bothered about Neymar. And strikers and must, otherwise no trophies. I'm not going to say no trophies, Abdallah. I think not having a clinical finishing and a striker who's going to score almost all the tap-ins and some great goals and some headers, that's going to cost us in the long run, So let's just see. So it's important that we get these. We need to do our business. We need to get our business done because it's not going to be long before the season starts. It's not long at all before the season starts. So we've got to get our business done and dusted, and move on. Let's just have a look. It's really, it's a shit, and it's one of those funny things. You're living in a place that is really, really nice. It is really, really nice, and it's a shame. But life moves on. Life moves on. Just looking around me, I'm sat out here. Almost 10 o'clock at night. Do I feel safe? Absolutely. Absolutely feel safe. Yeah, I knew YouTube wouldn't like this video because of the dark. They never like my videos because of the dark. The real rotters like that. Come on, guys. I've got 11 dislikes and 11 likes. That's pretty poor going, guys. Anyway, let's move on. Let's not talk about that. I'm going to wind up in a couple of minutes. Hi, Peter. You watch the chairman's interviews. We are going to get a few more players. Martinez will be the surprise. Well, depends. If Peter did that video back in July, when I went through the players, and I said 6 players to come in. Okay, one was Zach Steffen, even though he was already our player, he was on loan. But I said he'll come in as a number 2. I said Scott Carson would stay. I've been saying Scott Carson would stay since I think June or early July. I said I thought Scott Carson was going to stay. I'd read it. I'd read it somewhere. So I don't know why all these big in the know City channels on Twitter, on social media said Scott Carson's going, and once his contract had expired, some of them put out thanks Scott or whatever, put out little captions or whatever, made comments on social media. So I'm really surprised that they didn't understand or didn't. They must have read it somewhere that he was staying, because I'd read it, I'd seen it. That City were interested in keeping him on. I said it made us. So I said our 3 keepers next season I thought would be Edison. I might be all wrong, but I thought it would be Edison, Steffen, and Carson. I said I think we'll get Koulibaly and Ake. This is before we got them. I said Koulibaly and Ake. I said Ferran Torres for the right wing. I said I did a video about David Alaba. I said we'll be interested in him, but I'm not sure he's going to come. And I had a choice between Husam. I said Martinez. As well, and I had a choice between Husam Aouar and Ismail Benassa. And I went with Benassa. I still think we're more likely to get Husam Awar. I wanted Ismail Benassa because I think one of the big issues for us last season was not having a Fernandinho player in Fernandinho's position. Either Fernandinho or a Fernandinho type player. Rodri's a different kind of player for me. Is your Fernandinho kind of player. He will be tenacious. He will make the tackles. That's what he's there for. He's your defensive midfielder, but he can be box to box like he was at Empoli last season. The season before. Last season he was at AC Milan, where he's a little bit more as of a defensive midfielder, but at Empoli was more of a box to box. So I think that's why I plumped for him as my 6th player. Still waiting, Haj, for Kalidou Koulibaly, aren't we all, buddy? I think this is going to drag on. But some people said he's having his medical tomorrow. We'll see. Some people, I actually saw some videos where they said he's about to sign, and that was a month ago. Look, let's let you into a secret. Most people know nothing, or very, very little. Most people know nothing. I know very, very little. I just read a lot of stuff, and sometimes try and read a little bit of insight. Cancelo last season, knew he was coming. I remember the Rodri and Cancelo videos I did. I think one of them I did a week. I did them before the guys arrived because I knew they were coming. And the Rodri one almost was embarrassing because I talked about the Spain manager, who was Luis Enrique. But between me making the video about Rodri coming, Luis Enrique relinquished the reins at Spain because his daughter died. I think she's only 9 years old. Really, really sad. And so I referred to him as a Spain manager, but he'd already, so as I said, between me making the video and releasing the video the day Rodri signed, when it was official, Luis Enrique had given up that post. So that's how in advance I made this video. So I was confident. The cast video I did this year before the verdicts on the 13th of July. I made that video, I think, on the 11th of July. So I was told on the Friday. It's very rare that you get some, good information, hot information. And but generally, I'm the same as everybody else. We don't know anything. Most people know nothing. It's just for some, it's guesswork. For some, it's just made up. Some, it's innuendo. And for me, it's just reading a lot of stuff, see what's going on. Like with Scott Carson, I'd read it somewhere back in June or early July. I'd read it. So I said it. And I remembered it, which is unlike me. And other people, they just, it's the same. Almost everybody's in the same boat. I don't believe fan zone, BMI, fan zone, on Instagram saying that Kalidou Koulibaly will have his medical tomorrow. That seems a bit of a surprise to me that he's going to have his medical tomorrow, to be honest. I'm still waiting for Kalidou Koulibaly to say Haj. Yeah, I think it's going to happen. The way Khaldoon's talking, the way everything seems to point. But we've been here before with Jorginho. That looked in the bag a couple of years back, and everybody did the dirty on us. So you can't be too sure. Chris says Roberto not worth signing. Personally, he's not been playing in preferred position, which is midfield. I don't know, Chris. I don't know enough. I mean, he's someone that's mentioned regularly, but do I know enough about it? I honestly don't. Guys, I'm gonna call it a day. It's been 35 minutes, and I want a nice drink, and then my eyes are tired. 4 hours sleep after, driving all day. We arrived 9 o'clock last night, and I'd been up for hours packing stuff, so I need a rest, guys. But I'll be buzzing tomorrow. What's going down tomorrow? Let me see. I've got one video in the can that's coming out Friday. I've got 4 or 5 interviews to do. Got a load of people who want to be interviewed, fans. So if you want to be interviewed, fans, let me know. Get you on. Prerequisite is you got to talk English. Doesn't have to be perfect. Mine certainly isn't. But if you want to come on the channel, let me know. We'll sort something out. I've got journalists to interview. Hopefully I'll interview Maxi again this week. Or you haven't seen that interview. That's a cracking kid. He's a journalist, Italian journalist, living in Sweden. So he knows about Italian football very well. He's a Milan fan. He knows about Swedish football and French football, actually. He basically spends all his time watching and talking and writing football. He's an interesting one. I've still got the interview with the Brazilian guys to do, talking about football in Brazil. I've got loads of stuff to do. Just got to get time to do it. And also we are doing work on the women's team as well. We did that last season. Doing it this season. Jenny's the focus for that, especially with me not being in the UK, not being able to go to games. Even if we could, I can't go. So Jenny's done that, so I'll edit that and get that out hopefully within a couple of days. And yeah, we've got the season. It's very exciting for the women's team. We've bought Sam Mewis, we've bought Chloe Kelly, we've bought forgot her name, begins with V. It's not Varane. I forgot her name now. Anyway, we bought another American player who's coming over. Like Sam Mewis. I mean, World Cup winners we're buying. Top 3 in the world, I think Sam Mewis is regarded. We've got a couple of other players from Europe. Our strength in depth is incredible. And we're playing the Charity Shield or Community Shield against Chelsea at the weekend. The women are playing in the early afternoon, I think. It's on BBC, live on BBC. So it's going to be well worth giving that a watch, guys, because I think City are really up in their game. We finished second last season after it was curtailed. Well, we could have finished top. We were playing Chelsea, and we were on top, but they had a game in hand, and we drew 3-3. And if we'd beaten them, it was at our place. I was there. If we'd beaten them, we would have won the title basically. Because after COVID, after it was halted, it was done on points per game, and they leapfrogged us on points per game. But if we'd beaten them, we would have been title winners. What a fantastic season that would have been. So, but I think we're up in our game. I think we're going to be banging on the door of Chelsea and hopefully breaking it, pushing it open and banging it down. And then I think we'll do better in Europe as well. Cheers, Chris. Yeah. Oh, I'm going to try and get a lot of people on. And, sometimes but I'm always looking for new as well. So I don't want to forget the old, but I also want to bring new people to the channel. So I'll mix it up. I'll get you on, Chris. I promise this season I'll get you on at some point. So guys, take it easy. Have a good night. Give us a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell icon so you're notified as soon as new videos come out. Akash, sorry, buddy. Hitting the road now, mate. Akash, it's almost 10 o'clock in France, and I need to have a rest. I got loads. I've got to go shopping 9 o'clock in the morning, so that's what I had to give up tonight to go to the supermarket. Yeah, Akash, I started early because I'm in France, so it's almost 10 o'clock here. I'm going to start doing some earlier streams when it's still light in France. I might be doing late afternoon streams, 5, 6 o'clock in the UK. That's my plan. I've got a lot to do, so sometimes it's just when I can find the time. A lot of people want to meet us, go out for dinners, which we're turning down. We've got a lot of, empty the flat. Hopefully we'll get another one next week or the week after. And so we're selling one. We're going to go rent something for a few months, and then decide what we're going to do. So it's going to be a busy week. I'm just going to try and get as much as I can. But guys, 1,000 videos. We've bust that 1,000 videos. Just trying to get up to as many subscribers as we can, as many views on videos as we can. And you guys look after yourselves and take it easy. I'll catch you tomorrow, guys. See you around, Blues.